Before I get into what I get into, I just want to say Happy Pride Month to all those who celebrate. And oh boy. Alright, let's see. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned this on my channel before, but I'll mention it now. I'm gay. I've been gay since I was born, basically, but you never really figure that out till later in life. And during my time on the internet of being an openly gay man, I've received some support from my friends, and you guys know who you are. Thank you for your support. And I've also received hatred, bigotry, homophobia, all that great stuff. And of course, I mean great with sarcasm. I've had people call me the F slur. I remember coming out to my mom wasn't a great experience. I've had my opinions be automatically invalidated for the fact that I like men. And why am I pointing this stuff out? Well, there's been some things that I've seen and noticed throughout the past few weeks and months, and I feel I should use whatever voice I have to bring attention to it and tell you why it's wrong. My goal with this is that if you're homophobic, I want to change that for you. I understand that may be a Herculean task, but may as well try. There's nothing wrong with trying. There's a general story, a specific story. If I think of any more, I will share them here, because right now I'm rambling without a script. But the first thing I want to mention is parents. Out of all of the friends that I've had who are part of the LGBT community, or, you know, anything that's not straight, or not their biological gender, I guess, I have maybe seen 2 supportive parents. I understand that maybe I just rolled a bad coin and that's how it ended up to be, but the logic that I'm trying to display to you is all the same. Parents who are parents, you know, to their child, why do you care so much if your son, daughter, child, whichever, is gay? What is the point for caring? I understand that when you have a child, you probably want to live vicariously through them, so your dreams for them, you probably want to be perfectly aligned, but they're human. That's not gonna happen, and it's unrealistic to assume it'll be that way. And even then, why should you care? Your aspirations for your child should probably be things like careers, a job, whatever makes them successful in life. If you have a child thinking, man, I sure hope they're straight, or man, I sure hope they're not transgender, don't have a child. I'm serious. Do not have a child. If you can't handle that topic coming up at some point, you should not have a child. You are not fit for one. And I know it sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Having a child means you signed up for road bumps, for anything that may happen to this child. You don't just sign up for their good parts, you also sign up for their bad parts, which may mean different things depending on who you are. And if you can't accept that your child at some point or another might pop the question about gays or being transgender, don't have one. Speaking of, this is kind of going to be the most dark part of this video, and I'm not really sure what kind of trigger warnings I could give here, so I'm just gonna put a general one. There are some talks about basically everything bad that could possibly trigger someone here. Well, barring a few exceptions. And if you don't want to hear about that, you can skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp. Around a few days ago, I stumbled upon this tweet. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. And this is exactly what it looks like. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I knew this person, but there is a thread on Twitter that very much goes into detail about the type of person that this woman was. And I will link to that in the description of this video. Please read this thread. It is very, very informative. But to give you the crash course, Charlotte was a 17-year-old girl who worked on Sonic mods and did a lot of stuff for that community, but partially because she was trans. I'm sure there were other factors going on in her life, but partially because she was trans, she was receiving horrible insults and possibly threats from people, all because she was transgender. And judging from this tweet, you can assume what happened to her. Now look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know everything about trans people. I have trans friends, and they have shared their experiences with me before. I feel speaking for them is kind of wrong. What I do know, though, is that Charlotte was a human being just like us. Just like I'm a human, and like you watching this video are a human. And what was under this tweet of hers? Bigotry. Hatred. Some guy even drew a fucking comic over this. A comic making fun of the rates that people punch their ticket or whatever. People fail to see when it comes to homophobia, transphobia, and all that is that you are insulting another human being. Charlotte was not any less human for being trans than you. If anything, since you're such a Bible thumper, at least some of you are, it's less human of you to laugh at the fact that someone died. Rest in peace, Charlotte. You did not deserve what this world gave to you. I also want to give a quick mention to Jonathan Joss, the voice actor for John Redcorn in King of the Hill. He was murdered because of the fact that he was gay. And stuff like this is why Pride Month still exists. Don't let other people tell you that Pride Month has no reason to exist. It exists because of stuff like this. So I just want to give a quick mention to that in editing because I blanked during the recording. Rest in peace, Jonathan Joss. So then this all goes back to why. Why would I speak about these things in the first place? Why would I talk about how parents should be better? Why would I talk about how humans in general should be better? Well, I know they can change. I've seen it happen before. The way society is now, it's very easy to lose hope, but someone in my life changed their stance before. I remember this one individual in my DMs who was very scared of me and very homophobic towards me because of the fact that I was so open about the fact that I liked men. And then around a few years later, they came back and they told me how sorry they were, and they explained their stance and how their stance wasn't an excuse, and they felt really, really bad for what they said towards me. It was a conversation I genuinely appreciated because it taught me that yes, some people can grow up. There are still people out there who can change their stance as long as they let themselves grow. If they could do it, why can't you? It doesn't matter what age you are watching this video. You can be 50, you can be 30, you can be whatever age it is. There is no time on change. You can always change yourself. And if you were homophobic before watching this, I hope what I said got through to you. And maybe some of you can change. To my LGBT plus people who are watching this video, and I know some of you definitely are because I 100% send this to my friend group. We live in a society right now that is currently filled with hatred and bigotry, among many other things. So it's important that we stay together during these harsh times. I love you all, and you're all beautiful in your own way. Thanks for listening in on what I had to say. Happy Pride Month.